Because we are starting in 30 seconds. Let's wait. Okay, let's going to start. So we are going to discuss about this our third session of B30 batch. Okay, the third session of B30 batch, we are going to start today the concept of keys. If you guys remember my last first, I hope everybody here who already received the notes of class number one and class number two. Okay, so from the notes you understand that the notes are exactly copy of whatever we are discussing in the class. So everything with all examples, whatever I discuss in the class, I will take a print screen and send exactly the same into your notes so that when you go and revision the things, it will be easy for you to revise. The whole reason of giving the notes is the revision can be easy. Nobody has so much time that someday you start opening the notes and start revising the whole chapter. Suppose our whole session go for 70 to 80 hours and you want to revise something, you do not have 80 hours to revise. So only benefit of giving the notes is that whenever you want to revise, you can just open the topic and revise. If there is anybody who haven't received the notes, it's your responsibility to give me your email ID into the group. If you part of any of my WhatsApp group, I already sent the link last time, just like here, people are giving their email IDs. Rising Star nowadays, people are giving the email IDs. Same with email IDs. If anyone missing here, I will definitely give the link to. I will definitely what I can say, send the link to everyone. Okay. So when we're talking about our class, class number one and class number two, you see that I started from the basic concept. We learn from the scenario-based questions which are coming in the interview from those topics. For example, from the table topics, from the delete truncate topic, from the HWM topic. We discuss how the interview questions are coming. I have deleted a record from a table. My table contains 10 million. I want to delete 5 million of the record. How the scenario-based questions are coming, we discuss into the class. Right? We discuss about that how the DDL is impacted to the whole scenarios. We'll discuss in the class how exactly heap organized, index organized are working. We'll discuss in the class. Till here, we already discussed, and I expecting everybody receive the notes. My sessions are going through the base. I don't care how much experience you have, and I do not want to make any shiny topics. The people think sometimes that demo can be shiny. I start some extra topic, maybe performance tuning, maybe package, or maybe something else. What you thought, okay, they're very stylish and go like this. It's not like that. There is no demo in my sessions. We are going step by step so that after fourth session when I start, I don't have to revise. There is no okay. We don't want anybody has to spend their time extra. Now, today we are going to discuss about the concept of keys, right? Keys are the concept we are going to discuss today. Key. What exactly key means? Why this topic is important, as I told you last time also, most of the people get confused in the interviews when interviewer asks you the question, the difference between super key, candidate key, primary key, alternate key, unique key, foreign key. Whenever the interviewer start asking the question, people not able to describe the answer. They're not able to explain the differentiate between primary key, surrogate key, primary key and you can say candidate key and super key. People are not able to identify the things what exactly the difference is. Before starting, I just want to ask everyone, do you all able to hear me properly? Do you
Yes.
all
Yeah,
able to hear
yes.
me
Yeah.
properly?
Yeah.
Right?
Yes,
Yes,
Everybody
yes.
able to see my screen?
yes, sir.
Okay. Do you all receive the notes?
Yep.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. If anybody don't receive, right, please give it to me. Please give your email ID. Okay. Okay. Now start. So we'll discuss about the concept of keys. Okay. One more thing. You all able to create your account on Live SQL? Is there anybody who haven't created the account on the Live SQL? Is there anyone who haven't created the what I can say your account here into the Live SQL? Anyone here? If not, please create it. You don't have to install database. If you installed, then it's okay. If already you have it, then no problem at all. But if you do not have it, most people has a problem how to install databases. If you have already installed, then it's okay. Otherwise, you do not have to. You directly go and create your account on livesql.oracle.com and you can come here. You can create your coding. You can write your SQL query, procedure, function, package, trigger, view, materialize view. Everything we can do it here. You do not have to go anywhere else other than this Live SQL. ID. Okay, so that's why I'm saying anyone, please go and install this window. Now let's come to the live SQL thing. Then let's talk about the super key. Key. When we talk about key, key means what? Who can open the lock? Who can open the lock? We are going to describe a scenario, and I'm going to let you know what is the difference between super key, difference between candidate key, difference between primary key, difference between alternate key, and surrogate key. We give an example. From example, we will understand the concept of both. So first, let's talk about super key. Remember, every key, either it is a super key, candidate key, people know that primary key which is used to uniquely identify the data. It's not true. Each and every key, when we talk about key, other than foreign key, when we talk about key, any key, if I say the word key, it means they are used to uniquely identify the data. So every key is used to uniquely identify the data. Does not matter you are a super key, you are a candidate key, you are a alternate key, you are a primary key, you are a unique key, whatever. Now let's make a differentiate. When we talk about super key means whoever, like start from, suppose I can see HR.mobile, series table. I will give a table example, then I will give a real time example. Understand what exactly understand the keys are. When we talk about super key is what? Super key means who can use to uniquely identify the data. Any combination, any combination. For example, if I write this query and if I write where suppose first name is equal to Steven. See, this is the query, everyone. When I run this query, my query will give me two rows. Correct? It means this first name column is not a key. This first name column is not a key, any key. Forget about which key I'm talking about. This first name column is not a key because it is not able to uniquely identify the data. It means my query give me more than one row. Whenever my query give me more than one row, it means this is not a key. But suppose I'm adding one more condition and last name is equal to, for example, King. If I use this two column combination, this will give me one row. So first name and last name combination is a type of key. You can call is a super key. It can be possible that it can call as a candidate key as well. I'm coming to that point how. Candidate key is a part of super key. Super key means too much information. For example, first name, last name, it's a super key. Otherwise, I'm add one more condition and suppose job ID is equal to AD president. Three column combination. I'm using three column combination. Still my query give me one row. It means this three column combination is also called a super key. If I use one more column and suppose salary is equal to 24,000, four column combination. This is also give me one row. So that is also called one again super key. A table contains multiple super keys. Super key means what? Whatever the key column combination, which who can give me unique. You can give me unique row by using one column combination, by using two column combination, by using three column combination, by using four column combination, five column combination, these three combination, these three combination, these three combination, any number of combination I can see. It means this table is called as a super key. How many super key possible in a table? 2 to the power, how many columns? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 in this table. 2 to the power 11 minus 1, 2 to the power 10. These many keys possible. All the permutation of combination of the columns which I can make, and that will give me a unique row. It means 2 to the power 10 column combination possible, which can give me a super key because this table contains 11 column. Suppose I have a table, my table contains 4 columns. These are interview questions. Column A, column B, column C, column D. Interviewer asks you, let me know how many super key possible. How many super key? Total 4 columns. So super key means 2 to the power 4 minus 1 is equal to the power 3. It means 8 possibility. We have total 8 possibility that I can get 8 columns which can use to uniquely identify the data. Let's see. Suppose one this column, one this, two, three, four. Maybe this column combination five. Maybe this column combination six. With this column combination seven. Maybe this column combination eight. So total 8 possibility that we might table contains a super key. This is called super key. When we talk about candidate key is a part of super key. The only difference when I go with the primary key is, suppose this column is null column. Commission percentage column is a null column. If you go see it here, everyone, in this query, commission percentage column is a null column, right? So this column can also be a part of super key or candidate key. But once I am creating a primary key, even these two columns may be used to uniquely identify the data, but I cannot make this column as a primary key because primary key has a rule, any of my column cannot contains null value. So primary key means the minimum, these two column combination can be a primary key. These three column combination can be a primary key. The minimum of candidate key, which can use to uniquely identify the data, that is called a primary key. But the only thing is, I cannot make that column is a, because that column cannot contains any null value. For example, say one real time example. Suppose I want to catch a I want to catch, I'm a Superman, okay, and I want to catch a villain. Okay, or just take one example. Let's take a movie example. Suppose I want to describe a movie. I have a table. My table contains movie table. I have a movie table that contains, for example, movie ID, okay, actor name, actress name, and release year. Suppose there are 4 columns in my table. I have to identify super key. Okay. Every table contains a movie ID. For example, I'm writing movie ID 101. I'm writing, for example, 102, 103. I can understand the primary key. Let's describe super key. Suppose I can say, think about it, everyone. I want to identify a movie. Okay. I'm identifying a movie that, let's see this example. Hero is Shahrukh Khan. And the actress is suppose Kajol. And suppose the release year in 1995. Tell me which movie it is. By using actor, actress, and release year. Tell me which movie it is.
DDLJ.
DDLG.
DDLJ. You uniquely identify the movie? Guys, are you able to uniquely identify the movie if I give you these 3 column combination? That actor, actress, and release year. So these 3 column combination used to uniquely identify the movie. So this combination is called a super key. Guys, are you getting my point? Please let me know. If you do not understand it, I am stopping here. Please let me know. Anyone here? Amit, Amit Nanjawar, Akshay, Ajit, Gloria, Hanumant, Hari, Harshvardhan, Jyoti, anybody, Meher, Murli, Pranav, anyone here? Puneet, Abhishek, Rafat, Sagar,
Hello,
anyone
sir.
don't understand? I want
Sir,
to describe something so that I'm able to uniquely identify the data. So if I want to uniquely identify the data, let's take one more example. Suppose I have a phrase, PHRASC. Suppose I have a song, anything. In the same way, I can say Saruk, SRK plus Kajol plus 1995 plus I can say DDLJ. Now tell me which movie it is. Is it too much information? We are still able to say the movie name is Dilwale Dulhaniya Le Jayenge. You are able to uniquely identify this and say again is a super key. But this is too much information. Super key means too much information. Even I can able to identify by only 1 column or 2 column. You are giving multiple information to find out what is the team, what the movie name. Suppose I can just say SRK plus 1995. So maybe in SRK give multiple movies. So these 2 column combination may be not able to uniquely identify the movie because maybe Saruk has more than one movies in 1995. So what the minimum column combination I can give, which can give me the unique information, unique data, one data, that is called super key. This combination is super key. Maybe I can say Kajol 1995 DDLJ is a super key. DDLJ alone can identify this movie as a movie name is Dilwale Dulhaniya Le Jayenge. Unique alone it can identify. So this can also possible a alone this column is able to uniquely identify the particular movie. So this column can be a candidate of super key. These are called candidate key. What is the primary key? The minimum of candidate key. Every candidate key is a candidate of primary key. I can choose movie ID. I can choose DDLJ. I can choose just a song. तुझे देखा तो ये जाना सनम. Suppose only this. Maybe this is able to uniquely identify the movie name is DDLJ. So every column which is used to uniquely identify the data, that column is a candidate key and is also a candidate of primary key. When I'm choosing primary key, at that time there is a rule that if I'm using two column combination or three column combination, whatever, none of them can be null because the primary key has a characteristics that null data not allowed. So understand this movie rule, everyone. Understand this movie combination. Anyone has any problem with this movie examples and not able to understand what exactly super key, candidate key? Anyone?
Sir, I'm not getting the difference between super key and candidate key.
Candidate key is also a part of super key. Candidate key is a subset of super key. For example, if I go here, suppose go to this example. Super key has too much information. This two column combination, this three column combination can also called as a super key that also called as a candidate key. Every candidate key is a part of super key. Every candidate key is a part of super key. Are you getting this one like this? For example, here, suppose this is called super key. Candidate key is a part of this. A table contains multiple candidate key. Candidate key is just like a primary key. Every candidate key is eligible for primary key. The only rule is you cannot contain null value. Every candidate key is eligible for primary key. The only thing is you cannot contain null value. Like in this example, if suppose salary and commission, these two column combination is used to uniquely identify the data. Salary and commission, these two column can be a candidate key, but it cannot be a primary key because commission percentage column contains null value. These both called as a super key, these both called as a candidate key, but these both cannot call as a primary key because it contains a null value. The rule of primary key is it contains null value. For example, suppose I can come here, the movie name, I can say, suppose the phrase is saying dawn. I have to uniquely identify the movie. I cannot uniquely identify the movie by using Dawn only because there are two Dawns released, right? One Dawn comes with Shahrukh Khan, one Dawn comes with Amitabh Bachchan. Agree? Guys, are you okay? Only I can say the movie name Dawn. That phrase Dawn cannot identify the unique movie because there are two movie release. One comes with SRK, one comes with Amitabh Bachchan. So we have to tell the release year. If that release year is around 2000 something, maybe that movie is what movie I'm identifying, which Shahrukh Khan played a role. If I say it's a 1980s, 90s, it may be that the movie what played by Amitabh Bachchan. So you need two column combination to uniquely identify the movie. This phrase here in this example, first example, when I just say DDLJ, you uniquely identify. DDLJ means Dilwale Dulhania Le Jayenge. But the same column here, Dawn, is not able to uniquely identify the data. So the two column combination, three column combination, four column combination, which you use to uniquely identify the data, that column are called keys. Any key, super key, candidate key, primary key, unique key, surrogate key, they all are used to uniquely identify the data. So the every candidate key is a subset of super key and every candidate key is eligible for primary key. The only rule is it cannot contains null. If it cannot contains null, it will be the become the primary key. Suppose I have multiple columns which are used to uniquely identify the data. I will choose one as a primary key, rest all called as a alternate keys. Getting my point now, everyone? Got it? Understand? Understand keys?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Okay. Now let's come to the most important topic here in this today class. Questions comes the difference between surrogate key and primary key. Let's come here. This topic is very important. Mostly the people who go for interview in data warehousing, they ask this question: surrogate key, primary key. When you talk about surrogate key and primary key, as I tell everyone again, listen: key which are used to uniquely identify the data. Once I talk about surrogate key means which are artificial. Primary key means which are natural. Take an example. Always give example at the time of interview. Suppose I gave the same example in the first session also, but again I'm giving. Suppose if they're a husband and wife, same example I have to give to the interviewer. If husband and wife is not able to make a child, they can go for surrogacy. Surrogate word comes from this surrogacy. Surrogacy means what? When a husband and wife is not able to make a child, go for surrogacy. Surrogacy means what? I will artificially generate the child. I can decide the gender. It can be a boy or you want a girl. You can even decide the eye color of the child. You can even decide that you want the curly hairs or the straight hairs. You can decide everything if I go with the surrogacy or surrogate key. Surrogate key means whenever my table does not have any column, listen everyone, whenever my table does not have any column which is used to uniquely identify the data, then I will populate a column by using, if I talk about Microsoft SQL Server, I'm using auto increment column. Remember, when you create a table, ID comes with auto increment. Once we create a column, auto increment in Microsoft SQL Server, serial by using PostgreSQL, sequence by using Oracle. So these columns who are generated automatically, they are called surrogate key, who are serve as a primary key. We are not specifically creating some table or some column. For example, I'm writing here create table XYZ. I'm writing here ID, number, auto increment, primary key. Here it is written primary key, but because you are auto incremented, that's why this is basically a surrogate key who are serving as a primary key. For this example, suppose I I got a child or I adopted a child. Suppose I adopted a child or I go and follow surrogacy to get my child. So I'm not going to tell everyone in the whole world this child is a surrogate child. I never go and say everyone. I say this child is my child. His name is ABCD Jaiswal, right? So surrogate key is not specifically we are creating that create surrogate key. No, we are creating a column which is insert the value by using sequence dot next val, which will give you the next data, auto increment, which will give you the next data, serial, which will give you the next data, identity column, which will give you the next data. Anything which is coming or which is coming artificially, use the word artificial, coming artificially, it means that particular column is a surrogate key column which is going to behave as a primary key. So whenever this question come into the interview, please always give example of this example I discussed. Always try to give you real time examples that make interviewer an impression rather than giving a definition. So please try to, if you remember my first session, right, and session 0 in the kickoff session where I discussed that how to crack interviews. Interview cracking is all about the techniques. Definitions everybody knows. You have to make an impression to the interviewer that you understand what exactly keys are. You are not going to give definition that primary key means this, what surrogate key means what. Surrogate key means simple. Any column I can declare as a primary key instead of real key. For example, suppose I have a table. My table contains here. My table contains, for example, I have a SN number, I have a passport number. They all are uniquely identified. Passport number. They all are uniquely identify me. My passport is my passport. My SN is my SSN. It does not mean suppose I go somewhere, suppose I go to hospital. Think a very easy example. Suppose I go to hospital and I say that I want to come here for a visit. I'm your new patient. So hospital will, what hospital will do? Hospital will give you a form. Okay, sir. You are a new. Have you ever admit to this hospital or have ever visit this hospital? You can say, no, sir, I never visited. I'm the first time. He will give you a form, fill the form. You fill the form with all your information, your first name, last name, phone number, mobile number, address, SSN, your passport number, Aadhaar card number, PAN card number. You filled everything. Your PAN card is your PAN card. In this, India has 140 billion people, right? Not a single two people does not have a same Aadhaar card number, right? Or a same PAN card number. In the same in US, more with 35 to 40 million people, they don't have, they no have nobody has the same, SN number. Same India, 140 million people, nobody has the same PAN number, Aadhaar card number. Uniquely identify you. But the hospital will not tell you, okay, SN number 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, come here. You now is your chance. Doctor want to visit you. He will give you patient ID. Patient ID 123, ID number 57, ID number 45. These IDs are generated automatically, artificially from the hospital to identify you. If I go to the hospital and try to visit you, I can say I want to meet the patient number 34. Patient number 34 is uniquely identify you. For example, let's take one example. Suppose in a school, when we are learning in a school, right? Suppose in a particular class, there are multiple Vishal in a same class. Vishal Jaiswal maybe, Vishal Gupta maybe, suppose Vishal Singh maybe. Okay. Every Vishal has a unique roll number one, roll number two, roll number three. This roll number, every class his own roll number. This roll number is generated artificially by the teacher, that your name is Vishal Jaiswal, but I will not tell you that Vishal Jaiswal, roll number three, roll number four, roll number five, by which you can uniquely identify who is Vishal. Another example, suppose I go to the class and the teacher said that I take a math test and Vishal get 50 out of 50. Vishal get 50 out of 50. Who Vishal? One Vishal, two Vishal, three Vishal. You are not able to uniquely identify whose Vishal I am talking about. So if interviewer just, suppose your teacher say roll number three received 50 out of 50. It means you do not have to tell roll number three Vishal Singh. If I'm saying roll number three Vishal Singh, means roll number, first name, last name. Too much information. This is called super key. But again, I'm able to identify which person I'm talking about. But interviewer just say roll number three. I don't want to give any information. Roll number three means uniquely identify that Vishal Singh received 50 out of 50. So this roll number three is called as a primary key, which is used to uniquely identify. But three is not comes with Vishal. Once Vishal Singh in the particular class, then only he can identify it by three. So this three is basically a surrogate key, which is given by the teacher to you. Outside this class, if you go to somewhere in a function, somebody can shout roll number three. You are not roll number three. Are you getting my point, everyone? Till here? Till here, are you getting this?
Yes.
Please
Yes,
tell, please talk, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
yes, yes, yes. Yes.
It looks like very easy
Sir,
topic, right? But once you go for,
I
yes,
have
sir.
one
Tell me,
query.
Sneha.
Sorry to interrupt you. What is then the composite key? The difference between candidate key and a composite key?
Okay. Database is pure English, guys. First of all, understand everyone. Once ever this come words coming composite, forget about database. Tell me the meaning of composite in English or Hindi or Tamil or Telugu or French or German or Spanish, any word. What the meaning of composite? Snehal, you tell me what the meaning of
Altogether,
composite.
yeah, means
Composite
if
means more than
yeah,
one.
more than one column, if you combine together, then it would be a composite.
So anything, it can be a composite unique key, it can be a composite foreign key, it can be a composite primary key. Whenever more than one column is used to uniquely identify the data, so if more than one column called, these two columns suppose, or three column or four column, I'm calling this a composite primary key, or composite unique key, or composite foreign key, because there are more than one. So whenever more than one comes, it means composite key. For example, suppose I give the same example. Roll number three received 50 out of 50. See this example. The teacher is very happy. The teacher go to the principal and say, principal, in my class, roll number three, because he cannot say Vishal. Because Vishal, there are more than one student named Vishal. The teacher say, roll number 3 scored 50 out of 50. We want to give him prize. Principal say, okay. It's a very tough test and nobody ever scored this much of marks. And my student is very intelligent and we have to give him the prize. Principal say, okay. Principal announces from the office. Listen, everyone, the example. For you, Snehal, the same example I'm giving. Principal
Yeah.
announces from the office. Roll number 3, please come to my office. I want to give you prize. As soon as principal announces roll number 3 in the same school, suppose grade 1 to grade 10, 10 classes going on. Every class has a roll number 3. Correct, everyone?
Yeah.
Yes.
Every class has roll number 3. बताओ भाई समझ में आ रहा है हर
Yes.
क्लास में होगा रोल
Yes.
नंबर 3
Yes, yes.
राइट
Yes,
सो व्हेन द
every class we
प्रिंसिपल
have.
announce same roll number 3 work as a primary key when the teacher announces in the class. But when the principal announces roll number 3, please come to my cabin or my office. I want to give a prize. There are 10 students reach to the principal office. Not able to uniquely identify. So what principal say? Roll number 3, grade 7. Teacher used 2 column combination. This is called composite. Then only this student will go. Only one student teacher will find out. This student will use to uniquely identify the data. If I use these 2 words, grade roll number 3, grade 7. Okay, now principal is happy. Principal go to the district magistrate office and say, there DMs are in my school. There is a student. He scored 50 out of 50. I want you to give him a prize on this 26th January or 15th August. DM साहब ने बोला okay. DM साहब announces on this 26th January, roll number 3, grade 7. Come to the parade. I want to give you prize. In the DM is a DM for the whole city. In that city, suppose 50 schools going on. So there are 50 students who has roll number 3 and grade 7. Agree everyone? बताओ भाई
Yes. Yes.
समझ में
Yes.
आ रहा है
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
तुम लोग को लगता होगा ना कितनी छोटी सी चीज है whenever you work on the database designing, whenever you work on data modeling, right? If you go someday, the people think the data modeler have more than 10 years, 15 years, 16 years experience. If I go and open on here Google data modeling interview questions, right? These are the scenario this question comes into the interview. They will give a scenario and ask you to create a data model. At that time, you must know these scenarios. Then only you are able to create this. Your base concept must be strong. I am spending my first 7 classes on your basic concept of database. From the first 7 classes, you are getting at least 25% of your interview question. It does not matter you are 1 year experience or you are 20-year experience. Everyone is getting at least 25% question in the interviews from my first 7 classes. In each interview, everywhere. So the DM Saab is saying, grade 3, roll number 7. Sorry, roll number 3, grade 7. Please come to parade. 50 students will reach there. It means these 2 column combination is not able to uniquely identify the data. So he is saying grade 3, grade roll number 3, grade 7 plus. Suppose I can see higher secondary school, any school name he is give you. This is school. So this is only one school in the particular area. So when you use 3 column combination, then only he is able to uniquely identify the data. So these 3 column combination called as a primary key, which is able to uniquely identify the data. Got it here? Till here? Now understand it?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Right? Surrogate key question will come in the interview. Here I'm telling you. When the surrogate key question will come, I'm expecting everyone to give the answer of surrogacy. Always try to give a different answer, which not everyone is giving. The same surrogacy answer you have to give to the interview. So suppose a husband and wife is not able to make a child, so they will use the option of surrogacy to artificially generate the child and give his own name. In the same way, suppose my table does not have any column which is used to uniquely identify the data. So I will populate that column by using sequences or auto increment or identity who can use to uniquely identify the data. So that column serve as a primary key, but actually it is a surrogate key. This question will come in the interview. 200% sure. So when this question comes, If you give definition, the definition given by all 99%, 99% public will give the same definition. What is primary key, what is surrogate key? इस definition पे आंसर selection नहीं होता है. If you give some example which can make an impression to the interviewer that yes, you understand the concept, how it is building, then he can say that why not SSN? SSN or suppose your passport number. SSN and passport number are private information. You cannot make it public to everybody that my passport number is this, my SSN number is this. I'm not able to make it public. I do not want everybody to know my SSN or know my Aadhaar card number or know my PAN card number or know my passport number. I don't want it. I want to hide that information because there are sensitive information. So rather than this, I can choose to use surrogacy. Who can use to uniquely identify the data? In this, there is a question comes in interview, very different, very example question. Anybody here experienced more than 5 years? If you have, give me this answer. I have a table. My table contains multiple columns. There is a column called, suppose, first name, last name, date of birth. By using first name, last name, date of birth, I'm used this question asked in multiple interviews. You can find on LinkedIn, you can find on Google. This same question. I'm not deleting this question. This question from the interview question. It plays multiple places. Even you can find LinkedIn. Many people pose this question. My table contains first name, last name, date of birth. These three column combination are used to uniquely identify the data. These three column combination used to uniquely identify the data. It means if I use this three column combination, I can create a primary key. If I create a primary key by using three column combination, you can say the composite primary key because more than one. Snehal got it right. It's called as a composite primary key because more than one column. So I can create this composite primary key which is used to identify the data. But in my environment, I am using an ID column which is I generated through sequence. I do not have ID column. The people who don't know sequence, don't worry about it. I will discuss in very detail, right? Or if don't worry, but understand it. There is one column. That's why I said this interview question more than 5-year experience. Just tell me. I have an ID column which is used to uniquely identify the data. The question was, what do you think? Even if I have a first name, last name, date of birth, still I am generating something ID column to and make this ID as a primary key. Why not I am making this combination as a primary key? Who can give me answer? Interview question, experience level more than 5 years.
So it may happen that uh, those three columns, out of those three column, maybe one value will be null, like last name
I
will
can
be
telling you
null.
this are the composite primary key. There's a guarantee there is no column duplicate.
Maybe
I tell you,
reference.
interviewer will tell
Maybe.
you there is a guarantee.
Difference. If it is just ID, maybe it is confined to only that table.
No, that's
But
the first name.
actual data,
Mhm.
maybe we need a reference like functionality. ID is like 1, 2, 3, 4. But maybe if we have to compare with other table reference or
This can be
Vishal, it can happen that it
Duplicate
can
possible.
repeat the rows, like first name, last name, and date of birth can be same.
Interviewer will tell you in the interview that first name, last name, date of birth are unique. If I use these three, the question, listen to the question. If I use these three column as a primary key, I am able to uniquely identify the data. Interviewer will tell you that if I'm using first name, last name, date of birth, I'm able to uniquely identify the data. Interviewer will tell you these three column combination will uniquely identify. It means ये तो चांस चला गया अगर तुम बोलो डुप्लीकेट हो सकता है, ये हो सकता है, वो हो सकता नहीं होगा. इंटरव्यूअर ने बोल दिया तुमको. Interviewer tell you already that these three column combination will use to identify data. The question is, even I have these three columns, still I'm suppose interviewer say SSN, then you can say, or suppose passport number, then you can say, sir, SSN and passport number are private information, and I do not want to post it publicly, so I cannot make it a primary key that nobody can use in the query. Select a star from table where SSN is equal to this, or where passport number is equal to this, or Aadhaar card number is equal to this, because these are sensitive information. I do not want to make it public. So यहाँ पर तुम defend कर सकते हो that this is the reason I do not want SSN or Aadhaar card or PAN card or passport to make as a primary key. Agree. Question is, I have a first name, last name, date of birth. These three column combination used to uniquely identify the data. but still I am not making these combinations as a primary key. Instead of that, I am populating a column ID. See the use of surrogate key. I am using a column ID. They are populated through sequences or auto increment or identity or serial by any means. PostgreSQL called serial, Oracle called identity or sequence, Microsoft SQL Server called auto increment, MySQL called auto increment. I'm using these to populate. So why I'm making this primary key? Why not this? And what do you think? Which is good? Can I make this as a primary key, populate extra column, or these three columns is okay? So why I need it? Ab batao question, answer.
Yeah, single column is always
Actually,
better.
it's a private information,
Am I
so
audible?
we can't make it a
Yes,
primary.
yes, you're audible one by one.
Yeah.
Rishikesh, you tell me
Okay.
answer first. Okay, or for just
Sir,
1 second. Rishikesh, you tell me answer first.
sir, I think it's a private information, so it can't be primary key, so many users will see it.
Private information is not a thing here. Private information example I gave you here by example, this SN number and this. Consider this not as such private. It's okay. Leave it. Consider this not private and we can public it. It's okay. In US, there is a problem with date of birth is a sensitive information, but India date of birth is not a sensitive information. So think about it. Forget about it for a few minutes. That private thing. Private thing is I already take care by using SN example or that passport number example or Aadhaar card number example. So this is not the correct. Rafat, you give me the answer. You are trying to give the answer.
Yeah. So
देखो ये इंटरव्यू क्वेश्चन
maintaining
है और ये क्वेश्चन तुम लोग को मिल जाएगा लिंक्डइन पे बहुत जगह, बहुत लोगों ने पोस्ट कर रखा है. Same question you can find. Go to Google and pick this. If I put this question, I can find multiple PDFs have the same question. This question asked into the interviews. Okay, so yeah, Rafat telling what answer you are giving.
Yeah, so maintaining single column as a primary key is better than maintaining three composite primary key because there will be a dependency on three columns whenever we want to uniquely identify that data. And also there will be a chance of index skip issue if the order of these three combination in where clause is changed. So in that case,
Rafat give almost correct answer. So whenever we create a primary key, most of the scenario database will create an index on top of it, right? Either
yes.
Microsoft SQL Server will create a cluster index, Oracle create a unique index. So once we create index is a separate data structure. We haven't discussed about index yet, but as I told you, this question is for more than 5-year experience. I'm expecting they know about it. So I'm just giving for them. Once ever we create a primary key, it will create a separate data structure into the database memory. An extra space they are taking. They will store the data of first name, last name, date of birth. Index will be stored like this. Your B30 index. Say this here. That is how index will be stored. So if any column insert, update, or delete, any first name, last name, date of birth, somebody try to change it or update it, or any new column is coming, database has to maintain this data gone, this whole data here and there. We have to maintain this structure. The binary tree balance tree structure, database has to maintain this and extra work for database. In case of ID column is auto increment and coming automatically one by one, just one number column is easy to maintain. That is the one reason. Second reason, sir, you are saying it's a unique, but it may be possible. It may be possible in future. Suppose somebody has a duplicate data, or may be possible some column can be null. I do not have last name. There are many people that does not have a first name and doesn't have a last name. But in case of surrogate key or sequence, there is a guarantee the data is not duplicate. There is a guarantee data will not repeat. This is the scenario reason we are populating using surrogate key is more popular rather than using this 3-column combination because maintenance is high. So we are not using this as a primary key. We are using ID column as a primary key. That's why the people who are working in a project, go to your project and see most of your table contains an ID column that populated through sequence or auto increment because maintaining them is an easy work rather than maintaining a composite primary key. Got this answer, everyone? Any confusion? Got it? बोलो भाई, yes or no? कुछ तो बोलो.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
अजीत, आदित्य, अमीरा, अमित, अमोल, बाला, चंदू.
Yes,
थोड़ा
sir.
बोलते रहो यार, मेरा तो सुबह, तुम्हारी तो शाम है. तुम्हारी तो आवाज निकलनी चाहिए, है कि नहीं? Okay, let's come back. Two, three more questions I'm going to discuss. One question, very common interview question. Can a table contains two primary key? सबको पता है, almost everybody knows about it. They can say no
No,
sir, no, 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 no.
no.
ये तो सबको पता है भाई. Why cannot contains a two primary key? Why a table cannot contains two primary key? When this question comes in interview, can a table contains two primary key? Very common question. Listen how to answer. Right about primary key. Again, let me repeat it. The whole interview is the whole interview. When you go for interview, the whole game depend how to give answer. How I learn, even many things, even I don't know, but how I learn because I gave around 1,000 interviews. Right, this is my hobby, you can say. In my sessions, there are 1,000 people got selected. They all give interviews and give me the question. So when I learn from them, then I make this scenario that how exactly interviewer want to listen and how you kill the time. Interview is all about a game, how to kill the time. 45 minutes. Out of 1 hour interview, interviewer never come to you for a coffee date. Interviewer just come to talk to you on a technical discussion. Interview is a technical discussion, is all depend upon you, how you lead that discussion. If you give a one line answer, can a table contains two primary key? You can say no, sir. So, तुम चुप हो गए after 1 second of answer. You give the ball to the interviewer court to ask me next question. You have to always follow a rule to learn the tricks how to give interviews. If the people who knows the interview trick, you are not cracking one interview, you are cracking multiple interviews. Interview is all about a game. You must know how to play. The people who are cracking interviews, they are not intelligent. They are not very intelligent. They can crack the interviews. I crack Facebook, Amazon, Apple, Netflix, Google, all five FANG interviews. I'm not intelligent. I'm not very intelligent that you can say, okay, Vishal is very intelligent. He knows this and that. No, it's nothing like that. I'm just like maybe average or above average for all of you. But I know the tricks. I'm just trying to teach you tricks. How to make a trick, how to crack interviews. Every interview definitely get into this trap. They must come. You know how to make that trap. Okay, let's come to this question. First talk about, we know about primary key. Primary key means difference between primary key, unique key. If you know, we know about primary key. What is primary key? Primary key means which you use to uniquely identify the data. Unique key means PK, UK. Unique key means which are used to uniquely identify the data. Both are used to uniquely identify the data. Difference between what? Between primary key and unique key, right? Suppose take an example. I have a car and my car is stolen. Think about it. Somebody stole my car. Right? If somebody stole my car, what the thief will do first thing? Tell me. What the thief will do first thing after taking my car?
Throw the
किसी कार
number
चोरी
plate.
हुई आज तक? Number, sub number plate. The first thing the thief will do, he will change the number plate. The first thing. Correct? Agree? सबको agree हो?
Yeah.
Agree everyone? किसी की कार चोरी
Yes.
हुई आज तक तुम लोगों की? नहीं.
Yes.
अच्छा. Why Satya Prakash? Sorry, why Satya Priya? It's really very tough time. I know, I can feel the pain. Okay. So take an example. I'm giving the same example. Suppose the car is stolen. Okay. And the thief will, or take an example. Suppose I'm driving the car and I jump red light. On that red light, there is no police. There is no police on the red light, but I accidentally jump the red light. I am very happy. I thought, oh wow, great. The police is not, nobody will saw me. I'm happy. I came to home. Once I came to home, after a few days, I receive a notice that your car number 12345 is jump this red light. Please pay the fine of $50. How do they know? Because my number plate is used to uniquely identify that this car belongs to this person. He is living on that particular address. This car number 12345 is a primary key for DMV department, or you can say RTO department. In US, it is called DMV. In India, it is called RTO. So DMV office or RTO office, by using this car number plate, they uniquely identify this car belongs to Vishal and Vishal living on this address. Agree till here, everyone? Till here, everybody is agree?
Yes.
Agree, everyone? भाई यार तुम लोग कुछ
Yes, yes, yes.
बात करो भाई, क्लास
Yes.
बात नहीं करो कैसे काम चलेगा?
Yes, yes.
Right, tell me, you are agree, right? That I'm when the car will jump the red light, you identify. So this is the primary key. But suppose the thief will steal your car. After stealing the car, the first thing what the thief will do, the thief will change the number plate. The number plate which is used to uniquely identify you that you are the owner of this car, it is gone. But after 6 months, the police will, you receive a call from the police station that we will recover your car. Please come and take your car back from the station, from the police station. Even my number plate was thrown back at that time. It was replaced by the thief. They threw my original number plate. How the, and maybe suppose I have a gray color car, they change the car to red color. Still, how the police will identify that this car is my unique car, my car? Because the car contains chassis number, the car contains engine number. Even in the US, people knows about VIN number. They are unique. They are used to uniquely identify your data: VIN number, engine number, chassis number. So there are multiple columns other than primary key which are used to uniquely identify you. These are called unique keys. These are called unique key. Other than primary column, we have another columns as well who are used to uniquely identify, but primary key is only one. Why only one? I'm coming to that. Primary key is only one, but my table contains multiple unique keys who are, a table contains only one primary key, but a table contains multiple unique key. But the only difference is that primary key cannot contains null value, cannot contains null, and unique key can contain null value. There's a difference between Microsoft SQL Server and Oracle. In Oracle, if a table contains null, a table contains multiple null values. But in case of Microsoft SQL Server, only one null value. Take an example. Create table emp info. I'm getting a table employee info. Suppose I'm saying that ID number, just ID number. Just right here primary key, comma. Suppose employee name. I'm saying varchar2 20. Suppose I'm writing here department ID number. I'm writing unique. Once I write unique, it becomes unique key. Let me tell you what happened. Table created. I try to insert the record. Insert into emp info. Values. ID is a number. I'm writing 1. Name. I'm writing anything. Suppose Vishal. Department ID is I'm writing 10. Data I'm inserting. 1 row insert into the table. Go and see the data. Select star from emp info. My table contains this data. Let me take this data here. Screenshot. Okay. Let me try to insert one more row. Same, suppose employee ID 1 if I put, department ID 20 if I'm putting. I'm trying to insert. Let's see what happens. It will give me error. See here, I've tried to insert this data. It will give me error. Unique constant violation. Let me copy this error here for all of you. Why this error is coming over iPhone 00001? Remember in the last class I tell you, whenever you see the number less than 20,000, it means system thinks you did some mistake. 1 is already exists into the table. Again, you try to insert 1 because the primary key is not inserted. If I make it 2, this data inserted into my table successfully without any issue. Data inserted. Go to employee info table. My table contains 2 columns. Now see this here, one more thing again. Now I'm making here employee ID 3 and same 20 I want to insert into unique key. See the error. Same error, you can see this unique constant or -00001. Same error comes as a primary key, same error comes as a unique key. This 20 is already exists into my table. And I try to insert 20 again. 20 is unique. This column data is unique. So you cannot insert 20 again. It gives the same error. But if go here and try to insert null, unique key allow null. Data inserted into the table. Go to employee info table. Data inserted. Let me insert one more record here. 4. Vishal null. Again I try to insert null. Again null inserted. One more inserted null. Unique key contains multiple null. The reason why, if I try to insert into the same table, suppose in this example, if I try to insert 10 one more time, so it will go and check, does this 10 exist? Yes, 10 equal to 10 exist. So it will give error unique constant violation. You cannot insert the data 10 again. But if we try to insert null again, it will go and validate. Does null equal to null is fail. Null equal to null is an invalid statement, and null is not equal to null is also an invalid statement. Null cannot be comparable. You cannot compare null. I don't know the value of null. Null equal to null, I don't know. Null is never say it is wrong. You say I don't know. Null equal to null is an invalid statement, and null is not equal to null is also invalid statement. 10 plus null, that become null. 2 plus 3 become 5. You know why? Because I know the face value of 2. I know the face value of 3. 2 means this and 3 means this. If I add them together, it becomes this. That I know that because I know what is 2, I know what is 3. But I don't know null. So anything adding to null become null. Anything subtracting to null become null. Null cannot be comparable. Null, I don't know what exactly the null is. Null is always comes with a combination. Null, I don't know. So in case of unique key, why multiple null are allowed? Because every null is unique. This null is unique to this null. This null unique to this null. This null. I can insert as many null as possible. I can insert as many null as possible into the unique key column because every null is unique. In the same table, suppose I want to insert here 20 with column 5, it will give me error because 20 already exists. So I try to insert another 20, it will give me error. But I try to insert here null. Even I have two null exist into my table. Next null, it again inserted. Because every null is considered as a unique data. Because null cannot compare to null. 10 can be compared to 10, 20 can be compared to 20. They can say, okay, 20 exists, 10 exists, but null you cannot compare. Till here, everybody is okay? Till here?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So now let's talk about if the question comes, how many primary key in a table, or can I create two primary key? So always remember the answer. First of all, how to give the answer? Obviously, no. You have to see the interval to answer, sir. Obviously, no. Can I create two primary key? No, sir. But I should mimic. Remember the answer, how to give answer. When this question comes, can I create two primary key? Or the question comes, how many primary key in a table? You can say, sir, there is only one primary key. We cannot create two primary key in the table, but we can mimic it by using unique key plus not null constant. Primary key is what? Primary key means uniquely identify the data. Uniquely identify. There is no duplicate. No duplicate. Unique key, same thing. Uniquely identify, no duplicate. But one thing, unique key allow null. Primary key does not allow null. If I make our unique key with not null constant, if I make a unique key with not null constant, it means I can make a rule that you cannot insert null into unique key column. It means then unique key start behaving like a primary key. Agree everyone? Yes or no? If this unique key column, if I make a rule that you cannot insert a null value, then your unique key start behaving like a primary key. Correct? Bolo bhai, yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, yes, sir.
So primary key is basically unique key plus not null constant. So when this question comes in interview, always say, sir, we cannot create a two primary key, but we can mimic this by using a not null with. So by using a unique key with not null constant, if I make this rule, my table start behaving like I have a two primary key. And there is a rule why I cannot make it because of second normal form of normalization. The people who know about normalization, that's okay. Who does not know, don't worry about it. But for definition point of view, because we're discussing about primary key, you must know this rule that why my table cannot contains primary key. Why my table cannot contains two primary key? Because It is the rule of second normal form of normalization. Second normal form normalization is saying fully functional dependency. The people who knows about normalization, they must know the rule of fully functional dependence. They don't know, who don't doesn't know, don't worry about it, we can discuss later. But the people who knows, I'm just telling for them. Second normal form is fully functional dependency. It means the primary key is an identity to the row. Primary key is the identity to the row, and I am saying there cannot be two primary key. if suppose if suppose, if everybody remember your BTech second year, the concept of normalization, the second normal form says fully functional dependency. Fully functional dependency means, let me take an example. Fully functional dependency means if column A and column B used to identify column C, so it is not possible that column A can alone identify column C or column B can alone identify column C. The people who knows about the normalization concept, or if you remember their BTech second year, we learned about normalization. When we learned about database first time. If you remember that, then it's okay. If you don't remember, we can discuss in detail. But the normalization concept is saying fully functional dependency. It means if these two column combinations, suppose I have a table contains ID, ename, department ID, I have to identify a particular employee. So if I created a primary key in my table, suppose I created a primary key by using these two columns, ID and department ID. So these two column combination must use to identify who is the employee because they are primary key. It is their responsibility to identify the employee name as a primary key. But suppose if ID alone identify it, or department name alone identify it, it means my primary key is wrong. The concept, whatever primary key I created, that creation is wrong. I do not need to create ID plus department ID as the primary key. Only ID is sufficient, or only department ID is sufficient. If I'm doing this, it means it is not a uh, correct primary key. So this is the reason, because I have to support the full if normally database contains in third normal form. By using third normal form, you must satisfy the second normal form rule. And second normal form is saying fully functional dependency. So if I using fully functional dependency concept, it means my column used to uniquely identify the data. If one column is used to identify, it is not possible that there is any other column used to uniquely identify the data. If it is happening, it means it is not in second normal form. So because we have to satisfy this rule, so that's why database is not advisable to create two primary key into the table, because we have to satisfy this rule of fully functional dependency. Got it? Anybody, any confusion? Do you want me to repeat? Please let me know. Okay, let's come to a scenario based question to the interview. This question comes few days before into a table, into interview. I have a table. My table contains duplicate data. Listen to the scenario based question. I have my table in production. My table contains duplicate data. I cannot delete duplicate data. Listen to the question. I cannot delete duplicate data, but I want to make a primary key. Or for example, I want to make somehow that duplicate will avoidable. For example, so let me create a table. I'm creating a table. Create table XYZ ID number. This is my table. And my table contains duplicate data. This is an interview question. You can find this question on LinkedIn as well. This question is very popular. You can find the same question on the lead code as well. Insert into XYZ values. So I'm inserting 1, multiple times 1. My table contains multiple duplicate value. This is the interview question. I have a table in production. My table contains duplicate values. See this here, multiple duplicate values, right? I cannot delete existing data. In production environment, I cannot delete existing data because of some business rule. But somehow, I have to prevent any further duplication of data. I do not want anybody can insert a duplicate data in my table now. How to achieve it? Listen to the question. This question related to the primary key. Scenario based question. I have a table. My table contains duplicate data. I cannot delete the data. But somehow I have to make a rule, or I have to prevent any further duplication. I have to prevent duplication means what? I do not want my table contain duplicate data. For this, you have only two things can work. Either you can make this column as a primary key or you can make this column as a unique key. Guys, agree? Yes or no? Tell me yes or no.
Yes.
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 If my particular table contain, if suppose this column is a primary key column, it means there is a guarantee, there is no duplicate. Or unique key, guarantee, there is no duplicate. But this table, this column is not a primary key. This column is not a unique key. इसके अलावा कुछ नहीं होता है जो इस टेबल को रोक ले डुप्लीकेट डेटा होने से. But my rule is, my business want or the question wants that I do not want any further duplication. How to achieve this? This question asked in many big companies. You can go and check on the lead code as well. So you have to explain here to the interviewer, sir, here only one thing can prevent duplication, and that is either I will create a primary key or I will create a unique key. But my table contains duplicate data. Suppose I want to create a primary key. Let's say I'm creating in front of you primary key. Alter table name, alter table name, add constant name. Suppose pk underscore vishal. Add constant name, primary key ID. I'm trying to create a primary key on this table. Everybody can see that on this ID column. Once I try to create, it will give me error. Cannot validate primary key. Why this error is coming? Because you want to create a primary key. It means you are saying in this table, ID column is a primary key. But because this table contains duplicate data already, so when you try to make a primary key, say, hello, I cannot get primary key. Primary key is the most respectable member of the family. Primary key say this is my rule. If I come to the family, there is no duplicacy. Data is duplicate data. So to achieve this rule, I have to make a concept of deferable no validate. What is deferable? D-E-F-E, deferable. I think spelling is correct. T-E-F-E double R, I think. Deferable, yeah, deferable no validate. If I make deferable no validate, deferable means what? If I go and just, whenever you had any confusion, just take the word, go to the Google and try to see the meaning in English. Deferable meaning in English or Hindi or French or German or Spanish or Tamil or Telugu or Bangla, whatever you want. Database is just a translation. Let's see the meaning of deferable. Deferable means postpone, delay. Just postpone something. So I'm just writing here. Deferable no validate. No validate means I am saying, just 1 second, Ravi. No validate is saying, do not validate whatever I did in my past. Please forgive me. From now onwards, I am very loyal to you. Whatever I did in my past, please forgive me. Do not validate it. Defer कर दो उसको, postpone कर दो. जो कुछ मैंने गलतियां करी हैं पीछे, आज के बाद I am very loyal to you. Right? Let me do this. Let's see what happens here. I am making this table altered. Now my table contains a primary key on this ID column. You can see this here. I have a duplicate data adjust into the table. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rows adjust, duplicate. I try to insert again one. See this here, what happened? Unique constant violation. You cannot insert duplicate data because my table contains a primary key. Got this answer? Everyone understand this question, how to solve it?
Yes.
Yes.
Anyone, any confusion here? Yes, Ravi, ask your question. You raise hands.
So Vishal, this definitely looks better concept, but can we consider a surrogate, introducing a surrogate as an alternative?
Yeah, obviously, in many scenarios that we have to introduce surrogate key is the best option. That is what is happening in many projects. When we discuss about the concept of slowly changing dimension, the people who knows about slowly changing dimension, for them it's okay. The people who don't know, I'll just tell you in just 2 minutes, not more than that. There's a concept of slowly changing dimension. Slowly changing dimension is saying whenever we have to maintain a history. For example, I am a customer. A table contains customer ID. Okay, customer ID and balance column. Customer ID 101 is a balance, suppose 300. Today balance change. In normal project, in a real time scenario, in our office and everywhere, we have implemented SCD type 2. Type 2 is saying, do not delete the data. Eligibility ID is coming again, 101. Now the balance is 200. Eligibility ID 101, come again with the balance 100. Data I'm not deleting. Same data come into the table. I have a column called active flag. That column is 0, 0, 1. Where the column 1, it means this is the latest data, rest all is the history. For this scenario, I can populate an ID column by using 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is the column used to uniquely identify the data. So this definitely surrogate key, the concept will be answer for the solution. Exactly correct. So at the time of interview, basically interviewer want to understand it, I want to make it this. Whenever you add a column, it means you are doing changes into the table structure. Changing a table structure many times it is not allowed into the production environment, but definitely it is the answer. So if I implement a surrogate key, it means I will not touch this ID column as it is. I will populate a column, extra column, populate through sequences that can use as a primary key. But interviewer want, I do not want any duplicate data in my ID column. The question was, I have an ID column. My ID column contains duplicate data, and I do not want any further duplicacy in my ID column. I want to prevent duplication here. So it means this column must be a primary key. Once I create primary key, it gives me error. So I can make it deferable, no validate. Deferable in the sense defer it, postpone it. I will discuss about deferable more into the foreign key concept tomorrow. Deferable comes with two parts: deferable initially immediate and deferable initially deferred. डेफरेबल के भी दो पार्ट होते हैं, deferable initially immediate, deferable initially deferred. When I discuss about tomorrow, when I discuss about foreign key, and that question, this is the question in. Let me see if I have a question here on the my.
I mean, I have one following question once you are
Just,
done.
just 1 second. I have to
Yeah.
find out a question here. I think I deleted, but it's okay. I must have that question in my download folders. I will show you tomorrow a question. The question comes in the meta interview. The interview question was: I have a table A, I have a table B. Table A, table B. See, this is the meta interview question. This question asked to me in the interview. Okay, table A, table B. Table A contains a column C, only one column. And table B also contains a column C. This is a primary key. This is a primary key. This table contains a foreign key on this table, and this table contains a foreign key on this table. And now I want to insert a data into this table, 1, 2, 3. So when I try to insert here, it gives error because of foreign key data not exist here. Once I try to insert here, it will give data error not exist here. How to achieve it? For this, we are discussing tomorrow when I discuss about deferable. Deferable comes with two concepts: deferable initially immediate and deferable initially deferred. That we can discuss tomorrow. But today we understand here that when I make a primary key with deferable no validate, it means do not validate my past. Whatever I done in my past, please forgive me. From now onwards, I am very loyal to you. So when I make this deferable concept, so even my table contains duplicate data, I'm able to create a primary key and no further duplication allowed. That's it. Yeah, Ravi, ask a question now.
So, specific to your question, the deferable definitely makes sense. But what would be the real time use when I should decide whether I should go for a surrogate or whether I should use the deferable?
In a real time scenario, we definitely implement surrogate key. In a real-time example, whenever it happens, we are definitely going to change the business logic and try to make a surrogate key to extra column we will populate into the table, right? And that column will be used as a primary key. Now, this ID is not used as a primary key. That extra column, which is surrogate key, that can be used as a primary key. Definitely, that will be a solution in the real-time scenario. But interviewer here want to understand here when he say a particular column, because he want to understand that do you know about deferable or not. No validate
Yes.
concept comes with all. When I discuss about constant, no validate comes with check constant, no validate comes with foreign key, no validate comes with unique key, no validate comes with the primary key. So no validate concept is very important, especially for the experience less than 5 years. This question comes in the interview a lot. What no validate? Yes, Hanumant, ask your question, please. Hanumant, you have any question? You raise hands.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, tell me.
Hello.
Yeah, Hanumant. Yeah, tell me.
Yeah. So I have a question regarding that primary key, unique key, where we created kind of two primary keys. So in
Mhm.
real life scenario, will we ever require two primary keys on the same table?
First of all, there is no two primary key concept. Remember, I tell you, we cannot create two
No,
primary key, but we
yeah,
can achieve it. We can mimic it
yeah.
by using
But will
unique
we
key
require
plus
in
not null. Yeah, multiple. There are multiple unique key in the table which can comes with a not null constant. It's a very normal scenario. Very normal. In a real-time project, we have multiple tables that contains unique key plus they contains not null constant. And there are multiple scenarios in the tables. It happens. It's very common. It's nothing, anything specific. It's very common. That we have a unique key in the table and that unique key having a not null constant. So basically that unique key behave like a primary key. There is no duplicate guarantee. The data in this table is used to uniquely identify the data guarantee. The example I said, Saruk Khan plus Kajol plus 1995. These three combination used to uniquely identify DDLJ. So that will be do that. It happens in multiple. It's very, very common scenario. Ajit, answer your question.
Yeah, hi Vishal. Yeah, the question is like this differable no validate it's specific to Oracle RDBMS, I guess. So for other RDBMS, what is the equivalent for this?
I think so. Let me check. I'm not sure. Let me check it here. Just give me a minute. I'm not very much sure. Let me check in MS SQL. MS SQL Server allow it or not. Let me check. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Use in Oracle and PostgreSQL and not directly support into SQL Server in the same manner. SQL Server is not directly supported. SQL Server constant are generally not deferable by default. SQL Server by default not deferable hota hai, right? Meaning they are checked immediately. When I discuss about this immediately concept tomorrow, when I discuss about the concept of foreign key, deferable, initially immediate, deferable, initially deferred. But I think SQL Server directly check initially immediate. I will discuss this tomorrow when I discuss about foreign key because main deferable concept comes with foreign key concept. So when I discuss about tomorrow, I will discuss about this initially immediate and initially deferred, both concepts. Just wait for tomorrow session.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. Is Tant Passions, whatever your name, please.
Yeah, hi Vishal. So my
Please answer.
question is like, there is like an interview, as you said, whether to know the differable no validate. They will ask this question, but when I retrieve, right, definitely I will get two values. So as per my understanding, I think in real-time projects is highly not possible. And one more question is like adding.
Wait. It's not like this. What happened real-time examples in the project? My table must, if have you ever used, go to any project. Your table contains 4 columns. Every project, 4 columns called created date, created by, updated date,
Yes, that's
updated
what.
by. Have you seen that these 4 columns?
Yeah.
Every OLTP environment, online transaction
Yeah,
processing,
that's why, like,
wherever
my
a
question
transaction
is,
data is coming.
just like
Yes.
that, if I retrieve the data, definitely see, until unless we have this additional knowledge that this will be also there, then it's fine. But is there anywhere like in the definition that deferable or something is added, or through only to other call?
Deferable is more used at the time of foreign key. As I tell you,
Okay.
deferable comes with two concepts: deferable initially immediate, deferable initially deferred. Deferable
So
is
is
more
it
useful
stored in
for
the
the concept.
table definition anywhere? So if I look at usually when sometimes we used to look at the definition of the table, right, to identify what
Yes,
table is
yes,
like.
it
So
will
is
be
the
mentioned there.
table also stored
Yes,
anywhere so that we will get an
exactly.
idea that it's not primarily created, it's created a later.
It created a
That-
letter. If alter table, then you don't know it created letter. By the time of create
Okay.
table, we can do that. So by using
Yeah.
a detail, if you go and get DDL, you are able to see that.
So differable, for example, if by using alter, I added the primary key using the differable for existing data. So is it stored anywhere in the DDL or
No, it is
described?
no. The DDL will just say
Is
that
there
it
any
contains.
column that defines it's a differable added?
No, no,
Mm.
it's not
So
in
the
any.
only option is we need to check with
It,
using other columns, right? Like you
it's
said,
just a
created date.
solution. Is the solution of the real time problems when come into the project. So how to solve that problem? That is
Yeah,
solution.
but the definition wise it's not possible. But like business logic, we can definitely use.
Yeah, that's why
Right?
it's called a scenario-based question. When the scenario comes like this, the interviewer want to test you that you know if this type of scenario comes, how to solve the
Yeah.
problem.
Yes.
Got
But
it?
yeah, at that time we have to make sure that other columns like created date, we must make sure. So
That's
that is
why
there.
every table, if you open any of your project, you can see your all project contain these 4 columns. The reason
Yeah.
behind it because we are following transactional data. So these
Yes.
4 columns will define which column I have to pick, which data I have to pick at the time of writing.
Correct. Yeah. So,
Okay?
but definition wise, it is not stored only when it's created. That is my question.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
Nara Chandra Babu, please ask your question.
Hi, Vishal. My question is, how do you create a relationship between Two tables, and what is parent table and child table here?
That's I
Not sure.
discuss tomorrow. Parent child is a very good concept. I will discuss tomorrow and discuss foreign key. I will discuss one by, I will go one by one topic. Today I'm finishing primary key, and tomorrow I will discuss foreign key. Foreign key having around 10 scenario based question. I will discuss all 10 scenario based question tomorrow by in foreign key class. So this primary key parent child I will discuss tomorrow in the 10 foreign key session. Let's see one
Okay.
more question before the session end today. One more question, everybody can see this here. This is also again interview question. I'm creating a table. Create table supplier. See this here. Creating table supplier. I'm using supplier ID that I can say you are a number. I can say suppose not null. See this here in table everyone. Supplier underscore name varchar 2, for example 20. Suppose contact name is also varchar 2, 20. I'm using a composite primary key. Getting here. Constant supplier underscore pk primary key by using two column combination supplier id comma sub. This column question are very common experience less than 5 years. There may be something like this they will ask you. I have a table where I'm missing something.
Constraints billing.
Oh, sorry. Thank you. Okay. Say this table. Interviewer ask you that you have a table. Table name is supplier. In this table name, I have a composite primary key by supplier ID, supplier name. He will show you the table structure in front of you in the interview. Supplier ID, supplier name, these are the composite primary key. It means these two columns used to uniquely identify the data, correct? That everybody is okay? They are the composite primary key. It means these two columns will use to uniquely identify the data. Because I use a composite primary key, fully functional dependency concept. Supplier ID alone cannot do this. Supplier name alone cannot do this. So these two column combination used to uniquely identify the data. Now interviewer say, I'm inserting a record. Insert into SUPPLIR supplier values supplier ID. For example, I am saying supplier ID is for example 2, supplier name null, so contact name suppose for example C. This is the question. Can I insert this data? Listen this question, see the data. Interval will show you that my table contains supplier ID, supplier name. These both are the composite primary key. Can I insert this data? Anybody
No,
can tell?
No.
No.
Anybody here
because
can say yes?
Supplier name is null here. So because we are including supplier name in the primary key, so we can't
Supplier
ins-
name
Uh,
is a part of primary key. So once you come to my family, you have to follow my culture. Here the interviewer try to make you confused that supplier ID make it not null. Here it is not written not null. It means null you can insert. Here it is written. But basically supplier name is a part of primary key. So you cannot insert null value into supplier name. Does not matter you wrote here not null or not. Remember I tell you yesterday on the last session, once you come to my family, you have to follow my culture. So supplier name, you come to my family. Primary key is the family. If you come to my family, you have to follow my culture. And my culture is what? That you cannot contain null value. So even you don't describe a not null, but I cannot insert null into supplier name. So you have to explain to the interviewer because supplier name is an attribute of primary key, is a part of primary key and rule of primary key is, and if this two column combination can be candidate key, that's okay. Because candidate key allow null, super key allow null, primary key does not allow null. So if you are a primary key, a part of primary key, the null is not allowed. I hope till here everybody understand it. I'm expecting. I will give notes to everyone. The people who have given your email ID into the group, you definitely receive the notes. Okay, and tomorrow we are meeting same time and we're discussing about foreign key. Okay, and we can make the concept of foreign key. Class number 1 to class number 7 contains 25% of the question each and every interview from XYG to Google, Amazon, Netflix, wherever you can go for interview. Everywhere. Right? So please go through the notes because after 70, 80 classes, 70, 80 hours of classes, nobody has time to revise the videos. So notes are very helpful. So please read and try to make concept and learn how to answer. Your
Vishal,
answers will
very
actually, sorry, Noor, you are saying something?
yeah. So like where we have to give the email ID because I did not get
I,
the notes or anything.
if you give any of my WhatsApp group, if you're part of any of my WhatsApp group,
Okay.
give your
Okay.
email ID here. You are part of my WhatsApp group, Noor?
No, I got this link from one of my friends, so
Okay,
I'm
then
not.
give your email ID here. Then give your email ID here. Thank you,
Okay.
Sunil. Give your email ID here, okay? And I will add you into the WhatsApp group, okay? And
Yeah.
that see somebody joining now. क्या करें इनका? अब कुछ नहीं कर सकते भाई. Anyway, so give your email ID, Noor. Don't miss it. And I am here. I will definitely send you the notes. Please revise the notes, everyone. Go to the interview with a confidence that you are able to crack the interview. Interview is all about a game. Just like in the last class, I discussed about the delete and truncate example. Same examples I'm discussing in the so many scenarios. We can take each and every topic we are discussing, right? And we can go to each and every session and let you know how to answer and how to crack interviews. So thank you, everyone. I hope everybody will like the session and go to the notes. Any confusion comes, please let me know for sure. And I'll definitely help you.